So in 17 days, I went from this moment where all of my dreams came true to knowing that I wasn't going to be able to compete in the Olympic Games. It was it was basically like an ice sheet that I landed on. So if you can imagine kind of jumping out of a 2-story building and landing flat on, you know, hard ice,
Yes, yes.
it's not great. So when I landed, I mean, I knew two things. I knew, one, that I was in an incredible amount of pain. It was incredibly painful, that injury. But I also knew it was the real deal. You know, it wasn't a little injury that I was going to be able to come back from. And the second I hit, I knew that. So I slid to the bottom of the hill. Everyone knew immediately that I was hurt. You know, they were like, what hurts? And I told them, but I also told them, like, this is it. I'm not going to the games. Like, I said that before they took me off of the hill. Like, I just knew that it was immediate. And
Right.
but I also knew that everything happened for a reason. And honestly, like, you know, the second they got me off the hill and they were trying to get my ski boots off and stuff, which is a whole nother drama, I knew everything happened for a reason. And I said that out loud as well. I said, look, this isn't going to go well. I know that. But everything happened for a reason. And I'm, you know, like, it's going to be okay. And I remember my dad and my coach talking. And I remember them talking about how challenging this was going to be for all of them, because we had all been in this for a long time together, you know.
Yeah.
So it was going to be as equally as challenging for my dad as it was for me, because this was his dream, it was my coach's dream, it was my dream. And I remember listening to them, and I remember listening to them saying, you know, this is going to be really hard, but she's going to get through it. That's kind of when I got sad afterwards. And honestly, it's kind of a pattern.
Yeah.
A lot of athletes go through a really big downer after an Olympic Games, and that one was a big one, even though I hadn't competed. But at the same time, I woke up every morning and I had, you know, the picture of the Olympic rings on my bedroom mirror. And, you know, that was inspiring and it motivated me. And the days that it didn't motivate me, I had promised myself I was going to do the work anyways. Because there was absolutely nothing that was going to keep me from getting back to walking into the opening ceremonies for real the next time. So it actually took 3 years to get back to jumping. 3 years.
Wow.
And I didn't know it was going to take 3 years. Some mornings I didn't want to go to physical therapy. That wasn't why I started the sport, obviously, but I knew that the end result of representing my country at an Olympic Games was going to be worth it. One of the big things I had to accept was that I could go back to my sport and that could happen again.
Yeah.
And that was hard. That was really hard to deal with, because, I mean, that's a scary and not that fun thing, right? But until you can accept that could happen again is the only time that you can actually just freely go out there and put it all on the line, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was one step towards getting back. There was definitely some fear to get through. There was a lot of just managing that fear and figuring out how to get through that fear on a regular basis. And yeah, I found myself at another Olympic trial, and I took a big crash at that Olympic trial, which happens in our sport all the time.
Yeah.
And again, I got back to the top of the hill and I was like covered in snow and I had blood on my face and snow down my pants and like broken glasses. And I had a really good teammate came up and was like, dude, what are you doing? Like, what do you mean? What am I doing? One, you're 100% prepared. You've done everything you need to do to be here. You have every right to be here. You have every right to win this competition again. And you love this sport. Like, let's have some fun. What are you doing? So he kind of just recentered me, refocused me. And again, two of the best jumps of my life. I qualified for the Olympic Games again that night at that Olympic trials. And I can tell you that walking into the opening ceremonies after that whole ordeal with those teammates that helped me get there was a memory that I will never forget. I mean, the sound of the stadium when you walk into an opening ceremony. I mean, you know the sound of a stadium. It's like, you know, running through a tunnel, right? It's the same. It's the coolest feeling. It's the most amazing feeling. To know that you've accomplished what you set out to do, you know, for me 14 years earlier, and to have all the people around you that have supported you in getting there is so awesome. My dad was there. My aunt was there. I had some cousins there. Some of my best friends were there to cheer me on. And, you know, they were like, didn't even care about the competition. They were just so proud that we were there and that we were representing our country. It was so cool and it was so rewarding, and it's a memory I'll never forget.